you've been thinking about, right? Because I gave you a lot of homework. You've been thinking about who is on my team. Who do I truly have? And this is an exercise I do in the mastermind class, and people are shocked when they find out I'm making a lot of assumptions about who's doing life with me. I'm making a lot of assumptions about who I can turn to. I'm making assumptions about people's character. I'm making assumptions about people's competence. I'm making assumptions about people's availability. But what I want us to do, and this has to end this week, is to understand that nobody can want your success like you, that nobody owes you anything really, even if they gave their word that they're with you, which is why my people, you simply have to get people who truly can keep their word. So we're going to work at making sure, as we are purpose-driven leaders, I want to drive market results with excellence, that we're trying to go somewhere. We're not even trying. Look, I don't even like using the word trying. We are going somewhere in our career, in our businesses. We're going somewhere in our ministries, and we need serious people who take the journey with us. We want to make sure that we have mentors, sponsors, coaches that can take this journey with us. Yesterday, we spoke about mentors. What is a mentor? It's a person who you admire, that you would love to emulate, that you would love to fashion your life after, but that also is invested in making sure that you get where you need to go. Today, and listen, if you want to learn more about how you can leverage, how you can, what did I say yesterday? Find, keep, and even fire your mentor. Go to that video. Go to Purposeful Excellence Academy on YouTube and check out that video on mentorship. I put them all under the Leverage Your Support System playlist. So you go to Purposeful Excellence Academy on YouTube, you look at the Leverage Your Support System playlist, and you will see the video from yesterday talking about mentorship, how to find, keep, and even fire your mentor. Today, I want to talk about sponsors. Who is a sponsor? Do I not have notes for you? Yes, I do. A sponsor. Hey, Bombi. Hi, Aninka. You guys, I need to give you guys something for being my regulars. I am so very grateful for showing up as often as you do and staying to the end. Thank you so very much. A sponsor is a person that takes official responsibility for the actions of another. A sponsor is a person that would pound, boom, 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 the table when you are not there, when there are discussions about your career progression. It could be about whether or not to contract your business for a project. It could be about whether or not to give you a raise or to promote you. And somebody else, certainly not you, is in that room that will say, I'm going to put my name on an Inca. Like, I will definitely say that, look, let me get another name. Tengule, right? Is a business to work with. So you want to make sure that you find a sponsor. We need to be deliberate about our success. When you were told growing up that do well, get the grades, and let your work speak for itself, that was the half truth. Do well in school, get the grades, very nice. Work hard, work smart, however you're going to define it, but please do not assume that your work will speak for itself. There's some speaking you also need to do for yourself. And then there is some speaking other people need to do for you. And today we're talking about this other category of people that need to do some speaking for you. And how do people speak for you? How do you get a person to just speak for you? Well, you position your personal brand right. Because what is personal branding? Everything ties in together, guys. You see how it is? Personal branding is your intentional effort to create a specific image or impression of yourself in the minds of your target audience. You want to create a very specific image or impression of yourself in the minds of the person you want to be your sponsor. Or if it's in plural, then those people you want to be sponsors. The people who are going to be in the rooms you do not have access to, having conversations you are not privy to, that are about to make decisions that you have no power to control over your career, business, ministry, the fate, the success, how far you will go. So you want to make sure that you already live in such a way, you conduct yourself, you deliver results in such a way that you create the image or impression that you want your sponsor. And obviously, it's also going to mean other people around. You're not going to do well just to target one person. You're doing well because you're a person of purpose. You're a leader that does well anyway. You're doing it for the audience of one. You truly live for the audience of God. so that you can be done at the end of this journey and say, look, this is what I submit to you, God. I'm done. And hopefully hear, well done, my good and faithful servant, right? But while on earth, somebody say while on earth, because I do make a lot of references to heaven, right? But we're still on earth. So while on earth, you want to make sure that you so conduct yourself in your career, in your business, in your ministry, whatever it is you're doing in your nonprofit, right? Such a way that you have other people other than yourself marketing yourself. Because that's what you do, right? If you want an opportunity, you say, yes, I can. Oh, I'm very good at this. But you want other people to say, yes, she can. Oh, he's very good at this. You want other people to say that about you. So what do you do? Where do you find these sponsors? And how do you position yourself in such a way that, yes, you are overt about what you ask for, but you're not overwhelming? So I put that video on that video. I put that image in on my post today of me all done up in my kitenge. Thank you very much, Beta Mushi. Beta Mushi, I'm giving you a shout out. She's done all my clothes. This girl is amazing. She just got measurements and an image of what I wanted done. She made me an outfit, never meeting me, and I wore it the same day to do something in public. So she's been my person ever since. She makes all my clothes in TZ. So you guys want Bertha Mushi's contacts, I will hook you up. I think she's amazing. And at that time, I think she was 21 years old. And this was her thing. She had to be done with school early to take care of family, and she learned her craft, and she was kicking it out there. So Bertha Mushi, just putting it out there for you. Back to point. That was a little shout out, product placement, but I had to give her props. I put that outfit on because it's extra. Even my pose, I don't know what I was doing, but that pose is extra. So you want to come out to your sponsor. You want to be open. You want to be direct. You want to show your hands, show your intentions of what you want out of this relationship, but you don't want to be overwhelming. You don't want to, they're pounding the table. You're not pounding their table to make sure that they speak well of you. Get this, and I'm going to say this as often as I can. We are adults. Adults make their own decisions. I mean, kids do too, but sometimes we kind of like strong arm kids. They have no choice, right, to do what mommy says, daddy says, auntie, grandma, whoever says. But adults, no, they'll be like, forget you. Adults have to choose of their own volition. Something that they see to be of value, that it would help them survive, it would help them thrive. It would be something that they want to do, which means you don't make adults do anything for you. Side note, for all those people who say, I'm like this because somebody made me, I got mad and I hit her, or, he did this to me and so I paid him back. No, nobody can make you react in any way other than you want. Whatever your response is, that's your choice. Back on point, adults have to allow other people to influence them. If your sponsor, the person who's going to take official responsibility for your actions, who's going to take official responsibility to say, listen, I will put my name on this. I completely trust this person. I believe they're the person for this job. And therefore, I am ready to say today, you give them this promotion. You make them project lead. You give them this consultancy. You fund their business. You give, whatever, fund their nonprofit or whatever other decision that involves you is concerned. They know that you are going to do exactly like they had portrayed to other people that you would do. So it is up to you to live in such a way and be in your career, in your business in such a way that your sponsor will feel comfortable. Listen, imagine a person with their family, right? And their kids and their reputation. Your sponsor is a powerful person, right? We've already established this. They're in rooms and they're at levels speaking to people that you cannot access. They can access them and they can sway their decision making. That's power. Influence is power. That is the original power. Influence. Not money. Influence. Your sponsor is a person that knows your work. A person you're either currently working with in your career or you are working with in business. They have the power to enter into rooms you don't have access to. They're at the level in which, they can be in those rooms, sitting on those tables, and they have clout. They have the credibility, the relatability, the experience, and the track record for being a man or a woman of their word, a man or woman of integrity, a man or woman that delivers results, a man or woman that has an eye for talent, for potential, for investment, because they can see that there would be a return for all those stakeholders around the table with them. People, stay with me on this. Stay with me on this. I know I'm speaking fast and I'm bringing in a lot of terms you may not be comfortable with, but stay with me on this. There's going to be a group of people, and these are all the different stakeholders. Let's call them stakeholders. We can even call them shareholders, right? Of whatever it is you're doing, whether that's the senior management team, whether that is the board of directors, whether that is the business, I don't know, they're the financiers for your business, whether they're funders, whoever they are, whether people are sitting there, they're looking for people in the economy, in the country, who they would like to propose for certain positions, whether they be political or some other positions of influence, or to lead some public institution, and they're sitting on this table, a table you do not have access to, and names are going around, and your sponsor is in a position, first of all, physically, they're in the room, but also not positionally, how do I put it? Reputationally, they're trusted, but also in terms of competence, professionally, they're at the top of their game. So when they sit at the table with all the other decision makers and they're able to say, I am proposing this name. And other people say, oh, interesting, why this person? And they can in detail explain why you are the man or the woman of the job for the job. Or, either they're introducing your name, nobody else had heard of it, but they know you and they think you do a great job. Or your name is being considered along others and they say, I say we go with this one. When you've looked at everybody else on Merit and we're comparing apples with apples here, they're more or less, the same. I'll tell you why we pick this person, not the other one. I tell you why we go with this business to be our supplier, not this one. I'll tell you why. You want to make sure that you have that one person that can take official responsibility for your actions. Because as soon as they mention your name, as soon as they go into the details of why they're actually saying, me, so-and-so, I am married, I have children, I have a long career and reputation, I have done a lot of things. I am ready to put all of that, which I am, to put in a good name for this person. Everything I have accumulated over the years, all that I'm known for, all that I hold dear, that's what they're doing. That's what a sponsor is doing. A sponsor is sticking their neck out for you. A sponsor is a person who is going to put in a good word for you, and they can rise or fall with you depending on what you will do. It's not a small thing. Because get this, the difference between a mentor and a sponsor is that your mentor is a person you have a reciprocal relationship with, but they're not necessarily in your organization, whereas a sponsor should be. A sponsor should be sufficiently familiar with your day-to-day work that they can vouch for your credibility and they can vouch for your technical competence. A sponsor, honestly, has a lot more to lose than anybody else you have on your championship team. Because they're putting all of them down to mention you by name. And as soon as your name gets out of their mouth, people associating them with you. You mess things up, they'll be like, your person. Or they might even say, look, what kind of person would you be to recommend someone like that? We just lost $5 million over this. So all of a sudden their reputation will go down because they pounded the table for you. How do you get such a powerful person on your team? How do you get a sponsor? So I told you the first thing that you do. You have some comments here. Guys, I'll make sure that, I make room for us to have a discussion at the end because I actually do have a meeting immediately after this. So, right, first thing is you need to know who you are, where you're going in life. I'm telling you guys, by the time I'm done with these lives, you guys will all see that we all need the master plan class. Like if I wasn't giving the master plan class, I would take the master plan class. You need to know who you are, why you're here, where you're going, how you want to get there, what you are currently doing and doing very well, and what you see as a next step to catapulting you to where you want to go. And your sponsor should be a person that is sufficiently familiar with your work and your work ethic and the results that you get, to be able to say, my, you're looking for a person in this area, look no further than XYZ, whatever your name is. Why? And they will say exactly why. Not just like, I'm recommending them check. No. They can convince others about you and what you can do. So the first thing is, you first of all need to be clear, guys, about who you are and where you're going, what it is you want to do, what you're doing right now, what your next level is, and how you want to get there. And how you want to get there is where the sponsor comes in, because you would like them to put in a good word for you to help you get there. Right? Good. Now, the next thing from that is you want to communicate with them. So whether they're, they don't have to be your direct supervisor, manager, director. They could be several steps removed, maybe in the same department, in the same field. Please take the mastermind class. If you have not, I highly recommend it. And Nika, thank you. I had to look like this because I'm looking at the comments down there. I've got too many devices propped up, right? And so they don't need to supervise you directly, but they should come into professional contact with you as to be able to observe you. So don't be surprised when you ask somebody to be your sponsor and they say, I don't know you like that. Don't take offense. They truly don't know you like that. And your sponsor should be a person that does. And so you want it to be a person in your organization that is familiar with your work. It could be cross-functional because you're in these work groups or think tanks. It could be industry-wide, that you've done some work. Maybe you're a thought leader as well, or you're both board members at a certain place. But either way, they should be familiar with your work and can vouch for your character, your competence, and your connection with people. You can honestly go, make it this simple and this overt. After you are clear about your own plan, your own personal, professional, financial, and impact goals, where you are now and how you want to use this to get to the next step, ask to have a conversation with them. So because they already know you, right? They've worked with you. It won't be an introduction, but you can come into that conversation ready to show, and I would honestly recommend that you present. Have a PowerPoint or have a document of sorts. Please have it typed. Don't let people go through your scribbles. That explains who you are, what it is that you do, where you want to go, and how you want to get there, and how that the next step for you that you envision for yourself is this. And you are working towards that. It's not like you're sitting back. You're like, hey, can you hook me up? This is not nepotism. Please, sponsorship is not nepotism. This is saying that this is where I want to go. And you can leave it at that. You can say that this is where I want to go in my career. And I would be grateful if I can check in with you from time to time for you to advise me how best I can deliver, how best I can network. These are real skills. This is not schmoozing and trying to rub up with people. No, these are real skills you need. Or otherwise you'll just be a great technician that is stuck at their role. We know a lot of people that nobody wants to promote. Why? Because they're just really good at what they do. Let them continue doing what they do. If you're interested in going anywhere, you need to express that. Like, somebody needs to know. You don't let them know, then they're just going to keep you there. If it's not broken, why fix it, right? So they're like, all right, stay. Continue delivering. We love your workmanship. We like it. 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago, and you're thinking, what's going on? Well, you never expressed interest for anything else. So express interest to them of growing. If they ask you specifically, you can be specific about what you want to grow. Don't say, I want to take John's job. Don't say, I actually would like to remove Hawa, so I want to take on Hawa's position. No, you can mention a general area that I would like to get into directorship position. You can say that at the moment, what I'm looking to do is to expand my business from one place to the other, which, of course, there may be people already existing in that area, and you're showing that you want to come in as a new entrant, and you want to have access. Maybe there's a consortium of organizations that fund or whatever it is their role is, and this person is part of that. And you ask them in this conversation, with you sharing who you are, where you want to go, and how you want to get there, sharing that I would like to learn what it takes to succeed. Guys, suffice it to say, your sponsor has to be, a person of character as well, right? I mean, I think that's a minimum. Now you guys know that. So no one telling you go bribe this person, go sleep with that person, or we're not getting sponsors like that. So you ask them, what does it take? And they can tell you, what it takes. Please go implement what your sponsor recommends. By the way, you don't tell them I'd like you to be my sponsor. Okay? Don't say I'd like you to be my sponsor. They will choose themselves. Remember, you don't manipulate, you don't twist adults' arms. You don't twist anybody's arms, but you want people to so see you and what you're doing that they choose to put in a good word for you, that they choose when there is a selection, when everybody's been looked at on merit and there's a choice to be made, that they would say, I would actually recommend so and so because of this. Or there's an opportunity and people are wondering, who can we get? And you would say, I know just the woman for this role. Or there's funding going around and they're saying who would be a beneficiary or who would manage the fund, and somebody says, oh, this gentleman, I would recommend them. This is what we're talking about. It's not you saying, I would like you to be my sponsor. Because when you get in there, the board, I don't have access to the board. So when my name comes up on the board, can you please? We're not doing that. We're not schmoozing. We're not. You're not asking your sponsor to give you an unfair advantage. But you do want to see, when decisions are being made, who then, when it comes to saying this person can say, I would recommend this person, and this is exactly why. And they have sufficient character, competence, and connection information about you, and I mean experiential knowledge of you, to have a very credible case that they make for you. So you let them know what it is that you're aspiring for. You ask if you can check in periodically with them to be able to present this. And you do. You check in periodically. You let them know how you're doing. Whatever advice they give you, you make sure that you implement it, just as you would with your mentor. If there's a particular position that you want to vie for in your organization, let them know, I'm actually interested in doing this and I'm applying for this thing as a next step. If there's an opportunity coming up in the market and you're just thinking, you know what, I'm thinking with the way policy has changed or with these opportunities right now, I was thinking of moving from my region to go to the other one in business. And I understand that, there's certain, there are only so few organizations that can be offered. So I want to put in a really strong application. And that's enough, right? You've been overt that you're a person who's going somewhere, whether in your career or your business or your nonprofit, whatever it is that you're doing. You get to check in periodically with your sponsor, about where you are at. And should there be a very specific opportunity that you are looking at, you can share those intentions. Whether or not they will pound the table for you, that's up to them. But you've done everything to be visible and to be credible and to be a person that they would associate their name, their reputation, to vouch for you. Whether or not they do is up to them. As a matter of fact, most sponsors won't tell you that in this room, people are looking this way, but I actually convinced them why it should be you. They're people of integrity. They probably won't tell you, it was me who got you in. No, they're just going to do it. But where will they get all of that from? They've observed you. I've actually done this with several organizations, not just as a consultant, but on boards that I've been in, several boards and organizations where we had to vet candidates and vet businesses, that I would know of people who are really, really going after everything that they can, really delivering, ethical, doing things right. And after getting all the merit-based assessments, I would say, listen, reputationally, I would recommend so-and-so to be considered in the short list. Or just a conversation I just had with a client before this live, I've recommended some names for his business. And I said, I can vouch, put my name by their character. And I also know that they're competent, but I want you to assess them yourself. And I want you to assess them along with others that did not come from me. So that's what I told him, and he's going to do that. I've proposed some names, and I said I would put my name next to their character. And I said that I know that they're competent. This role is well within their means for your business. but I would like you to please assess them next to other people as well, so that you're not just taking from a bunch of my people. Just in case we're like, what's your vested interest? Like, what are you getting out of this? I'm not getting anything out of it, but I know that he is a great person with a great business that needs good people to drive his business. And I have several people that I know that I could recommend. So I've been a sponsor for them. They would otherwise not have known of this opportunity, and they may not, they otherwise would not have gotten this. But a sponsor went and said, I would actually recommend. Guys, I want to hear some questions from you. Any questions on getting sponsors and how you engage sponsors, or even considering, how to be a sponsor yourself? Anika, thank you. I saw Anika's comment on taking the master plan class. Benjamin is like, yeah. Is that a thumbs up to taking the master plan class? Benjamin, you're welcome. Most welcome. Chesil, thank you. Thank you so very much. Thank you. By the way, I do see your comments on the videos. I do appreciate that. Thank you greatly. So guys, that more or less is it for today. That is the difference between your mentor and your sponsor. Your mentor is somebody that works alongside you. You get the benefit of their experience. You trust them, and they're able to show you how to succeed at what you want to do. It may not be the same industry as theirs, but it's definitely something that they can speak into. They have enough insight and credibility and competence to speak into it. But your mentorship relationship can be private to just the two of you. It's not necessarily public. Your mentor, yeah, of course, can also be your sponsor. But your sponsor is usually a person in your organization. So if your mentor is in your organization, they, and they have sufficient seniority, they could be, your sponsor as well. And they have clout, and they can speak for you in the area that you want to grow in. Then you can do that. But a sponsor must be in close communication with you. No, not close communication. They must be in close proximity to you and your work, such that they can speak technically on both your character, but also your competence to deliver on what it is that the stakeholders are discussing, and you are not in the room to explain, defend yourself over. Are we good, my people? Are we good? What do I have on here? You're welcome. You are most welcome. So welcome. All right, my people, we wrap it up for today. Tomorrow, we're talking about coaching. Coaches. I wonder what that session is going to be about. I wonder just how interested I will be in sharing that session. What did somebody say? Oh, I lost that. Did I just lose that? I don't know what happened. My bad. All right, so tomorrow we're talking about coaches, how to make the most of coach, and especially what to expect from your coach. All right. Thank you, guys. Much love. Bye. Let me move this on the side and off.